wasn't looking for fossils in the summers, I'd spend my time looking under a microscope at embryos. And I was watching, at the time, bodies forming from egg to adult. And there's an incredible beauty to that process.
In the early stages of development, all animals start as a single cell. They divide again and again until gradually a body emerges, with a front, a back, a top, and a bottom.
It became very clear early on in the process some of the most important embryos were fish, because fish have the basic body plan in their embryos that was to become our own bodies.
If you see an early fish embryo and a human embryo side by side, you'll see something remarkable. They look almost identical. We really do look like fish. Both embryos have a head, a body, a tail, and many other similar features.
And one of those similarities exists in the neck, or what's called the pharyngeal area.
In both fish and people, what you find are a series of swellings called gill arches.
Turns out that in fish, those swellings become components of the gill apparatus. In people, they become portions of our lower jaw, portions in our middle ear, part of our voice box. So this is a wonderfully elegant developmental process, but sometimes things go wrong.
And when they do, your inner fish can come out.
So my kids are really good friends with the Richardsons.
One day,
I get an email from Seth, their father, who says, "Doctor, my wife's a fish." And I said to myself, I gotta check this one out. We're here for the fish.
The fish is available. It's fresh. Come right through. I think if you go towards the...
Oh, we'll cut through, yeah. Hey, Seth, is this your family album?
Yes, exactly.
So you're a fish. Now, first off, if you are, and you're more of a fish than I am,
Yes.
I'm very jealous. What? So prove it.
All right. But here it is. There's my gill.
Right there. So what happens during development is we all have gill arches. We all develop them. This little pit is a leftover from an ancient gill. And I am incredibly jealous of you, Molly, because you are more of a fish than I am. We're all fish, but some are more fish than others.
That's right. Some just haven't evolved very far.
No, you're the lucky ones. So what's really cool is when you know paleontology and developmental biology, many of the muscles and nerves and bones I'm using to talk to you with right now, and many of the muscles and nerves and bones you're using to hear me with right now, correspond to gill structures in fish. You know, and we see that in fossils, we see that in embryos, we see that in DNA, and we see that in you.
My brother-in-law has webbed feet.
I love your family, by the way.
While features like fish gills have been retooled in our anatomy, other body parts perform the same job but end up in different places. Like testicles.
Well, we're here to see some gonads.
Okay.
Fish gonads.
Oh.
Dissect this little guy here. Right, exactly.
Yeah, if you could pop that bad boy, that would
Sure.
be.
It'll come right out of there. Right there.
Yeah, so there you see, there's the heart, there's liver, the gonad is right there. Okay. So what's funky about these things?
Huh.
Is the gonad is towards the chest, right near the heart. But what's stunning is you and I, like every other mammal, our gonads started up there and descend down to here.
It might be better where they were. No.
Well, in some
Safer that
senses
way.
they would.
Having gonads close to the heart is fine for our cold-blooded fishy relatives. Not so good for warm-blooded mammals. Sperm can't stand the heat. So that's why our testicles have to drop to a cooler place, outside the body. When a human embryo develops, the gonads start deep in the body, just like they do in fish, and then descend through the body wall, mirroring evolution. But that creates a weak spot in males where our guts can pop through. This leaves us vulnerable to certain kinds of hernias.
You think about why humans have hernias. It's because our testes descend.
Right.
They start up here, they go down into the scrotum, and the body wall gets weaker because of that reconfiguration.
Yeah.
The testicles
and
are?
so, we'll find that you have a weakness in the body wall in some cases, and folks get hernias.
And that's why fish don't get hernias?
That's why fish don't get hernias.
Flaws in the human body, like our susceptibility to hernias, remind us that we're all adapted from ancient ancestors. We are, every one of us, just a jerry-rigged fish.